welcome to the World of Art TV. I'm Judi Moreo, your host.
And I'm Ruthie Moller, your co-host.
And today we have an exciting show for you. We have a wonderful guest by the name of Delia Price.
And she's like an amazing watercolorist. I just can't even believe it. I'm so excited for her to share how she started learning. And she's got a lot of creativity in her background. She started with like race car driving, and she does not look like you're not going to believe this. She does not look like a race car driver.
No, she doesn't, does she?
Yeah, not at all.
She's also plays the piano, and she's a singer. She's in a local group called the Sweet Adeline.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and they perform every year on the art train that the City Lights Art Gallery does out in Boulder City in September, and that's coming up soon.
Right, and that's when we're going to be doing the art of barology.
Barology, that's us for sure. Yeah.
We're going to be running the bar at the art train.
But today we're talking with Delia, and we'll be talking with her right after this quick break.
Put her hand in mine and said she loved me so very long ago.
Hey, how's it going? You can just throw your name up on the list and we'll get right to you. Yeah, thanks, dude. Thanks for coming in. Let me just clean this spot up and then we'll get right to you. You can hop on up if you're ready. Welcome to the shop. You need a shave too, though, right?
I don't know if I would accept a shave from somebody who's unshaven.
I look like a child when I have a clean-shaven face.
No, I wouldn't want a child cutting my hair. And I'd also need to know that the blades have been sanitized thoroughly.
I can guarantee you that the barbicide is 100% authentic, and these are sanitized tools I'm using.
Well, what is the...
Have you ever gotten a straight razor shave?
Is there any other kind? Stuff smells like Irish Spring.
Brings me back to childhood.
Did you grow up in a chemical plant? Hurry up.
Yeah, well, you know. Now you look like $1 million.
Well, that's your job. I'll be sure and mention your facility during my show tonight.
Welcome back. We're so happy to have you with us because we have a fabulous guest for you today. Her name is Delia Price, and Delia is one of the leading watercolor artists in the Las Vegas area, and you're just going to love some of her work that we have to show you. Welcome, Delia.
Thank you. It's so good to be here.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit how you got started with watercolors.
Well, I didn't really draw as a child.
Okay.
So I went to an art fair and I saw Ed Klein's watercolors in his booth, and there was a little flyer out front and it said, watercolor lessons Tuesday morning. So I picked it up and I went to his class, and I was just amazed. He enabled me to paint, and I'd never really tried it before. So he showed me a painting and he said, here, hold the brush. He says, well, you're holding it, okay. I didn't know how else to hold it, right.
Yeah.
And then he said, just find one shape at a time on the picture and put it on your page. And I did, and voila, in maybe a half hour, I had drawn this hacienda.
That's amazing.
I amazed myself.
One shape at a time.
One shape at a time. Keep adding another shape to what you're drawing. And then all I had to do was paint it.
Yes. That's awesome. So did you feel like you had a natural ability to decipher shapes and sizes as you were going through it?
Well, probably.
Yeah.
Because I tend to observe things, so I was able to observe the different shapes, and I was able to do it. I've done other kinds of artistic things. I've made stained glass windows and thrown pots on a potter's wheel and that kind of thing. Cool. I've done calligraphy, so I probably have good control, hand-eye control.
That's good.
But I had never tried really to draw.
That's really neat.
Yeah, and you know, some people can't see the shapes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Some people have a lot of difficulty seeing the shapes, so it's amazing that you can see them right away and do them like you do.
Really?
Let's take a look at some of your work. Let's take a look at the owl. That owl is my favorite. Let's talk about that one.
Yeah.
That's who.
That's the name of it. Who?
Yes. Well, I love to do animals. I'm challenged to do all the feathers on the owl. It takes a certain patience and technique to make them look like feathers.
Right.
And I always admire other artists' work when they do dogs or owls or animals. Especially in watercolor, they can sort of blend the paint, and it still looks like the animal still looks like they have fur and all. I haven't figured out how to do that. I have to make all the hair on
one
the
at a
animal
time.
look like it is.
Yeah.
Well, I use I'm not even sure what the name of the brush is because I've not studied art. I'm just doing it by the seat of my pants. But it's a wedge.
Oh,
that's
right. Okay.
cut
Yep,
on the
the
wedge.
triangle.
It's called a dagger brush.
Oh, okay.
The art teacher
But
in
there's
me.
actually a little triangle one too. I know the dagger one, but there's actually a triangle
Oh, yeah,
one.
there
Have you
is.
seen those? Yeah, so maybe it's one of those.
Excuse
Who
me.
knows?
I'll butt out.
No.
But it's a little stiffer,
Yeah.
so I can get a little bit of paint on it until it's almost dry, and then do the feathers.
Right, right.
So,
now, what made you choose to do the owl so close up? Because you know you didn't do the whole owl; you just did the face, and it was so powerful.
I'm all about the eyes. I love to draw faces, and I like to capture the expression in the eyes. So that's what I'm striving to do. And the owl looks at me as I walk around the room.
That's awesome.
So that's particularly fun. I also had a girlfriend who recently passed away, but the expression on her face, her eyebrows were raised up, and she just had this wide open look, just like the owl. So every time I see this owl, I think of my friend.
Oh, well, that's kind of neat that you've got that kind of remembrance.
A connection.
Yeah, that's
Let's
fantastic.
look at the ones that you did that look kind of like they're underwater. There's one with turtles, and there's another fish that are just amazing.
Oh, thank you. Yes, well, the turtles, they were kind of fun to do because the turtles themselves are done with a dry technique so that I could get the shell and all the shapes and the colors on them. But then the background, the water they're in, I wanted it to be multicolored. I just wanted it to just be a burst of color. But it's done with a lot of water.
Yes.
So the trick was not washing my turtles off the page.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, when you went back and put the water on. So you put the turtles on before you put the background.
That's
did.
amazing.
That is amazing.
That's interesting.
Yes.
So how much do you ever use like Frisket and pencil work with your paintings, or do you just it's 100% what it is?
Well, I sketch out, like a sketch to the turtles. But I pretty much only sketch it because I can't really draw. I never took drawing lessons. So mostly I just sketch it. Even the faces, I just kind of outline them and put a little bit of
Hint
shape.
of where things are.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I paint the details of it.
And the
All right.
fish? What about the fish?
Oh, the fish is interesting. I went to a hospital to visit somebody, and they had a tank, an aquarium, out in the lobby, and I took the picture because the lionfish is just transparent. Well, I wanted to draw it, but I couldn't figure out how to draw a transparent fish.
That would be a bit hard.
That is an interesting challenge.
So on that one, I did the background first, and this fish is painted on Yupo. I call it Yupo paper, but it's not paper. It's 100% polypropylene. It's plastic.
Yes, and the paint really moves on there.
It does move a lot because watercolor doesn't stick on plastic.
How long does it take to dry on that?
Oh, really only a few minutes.
Okay,
Because,
all right.
you know, you're not painting with too much water.
Right, so it's not like it's a puddle. And
No.
Okay.
But the paint does puddle in the background. But I
Oh.
wanted it to look like all the rocks in the bottom of the aquarium.
Yeah.
So I painted the background first, and then I took a damp brush and pulled the color off of the plastic because
Neat.
you just can wipe it off, right? So
Yeah.
I pulled the lionfish out of the background.
So you didn't need the frisket, you could just wipe it off, so to speak.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
That's neat.
That
Yes.
really is amazing.
Fun technique.
Yeah.
So that's what the Yupo paper,
Right.
you can get all kinds of other techniques that you can't really do on paper.
Regular
paper.
watercolor
Right.
paper.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you have something totally different is your dog.
Oh, the dog was my girlfriend's, and she would train, what do you call them now?
Service dogs?
Service dogs,
Yeah.
yes. So that was a puppy, but she was training it to be a service dog. And I just found the picture of it and painted it. I wanted to have it be more than just simply realistic. So I wanted to add some color on it, and I hadn't done that before.
Oh.
So this was my first attempt at adding a little color to the animal. And
Well, he's beautiful.
He
Well,
is, he's
thank you.
gorgeous, and
Yeah.
for dog lovers, you know. You just,
his name is Tag.
Tag.
That's
That's
a
great.
cool name. Now you also do some floral things, some flowers and arrangements
Yes.
as well.
The floral rhapsody that I did is kind of fun. It's on Yupo also.
Oh, it is? Okay.
So I didn't really put a background on it. I just did the vase and the flowers. And like you mentioned before, you can kind of move the paint around on the plastic. So I was having fun doing that, and I got my flowers on there, and I looked, and I realized I saw a little face in one of the flowers.
interesting.
So I decided to put faces in about 5 of the flowers. I
That's
call them my
fun.
fairy faces.
Your
Oh,
fairy
that's
faces,
really
I
cute.
love it.
That's
I love
awesome.
it.
And it's fun that your imagination took you there,
Yes.
right? And then
Yes.
instead of just going, oh, cute faces, you actually went there
Uh-huh.
and challenged yourself to put the faces in.
Yes, but they're not real obvious. So you
You kind of have to look
You
for
have to
them.
look for it.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Look for them,
Yeah.
and I enjoy hiding images in some of my
Oh,
paintings.
that's so Bev Doolittle.
I have a library that I painted. It was when the hills were burning in Pasadena, California, and that's where I'm from. And so the library and the Hollywood Bowl, you can see those items in my picture. And then in the back room, you see pictures, just shapes of people coming and going from the library. I think there's 8 people in the picture. And unless I tell people, they might
miss
see
it.
3.
Oh,
but that's
interesting.
Yeah,
That's
a
kinda
lot
cool.
of people wouldn't think to look for other things within the picture.
No.
And that's one of the things that makes your artwork very unique.
Yes.
Very
it's-
unique. Now you have quite the background. You've also been a singer, and so you're artistic in many ways.
Right. I'm really more of a musician than a painter in that I retired, and that's when I started painting. But prior to that, I really hadn't done any painting at all.
Well, and
But-
I remember the story of what, the motorcycle?
Race cars.
Oh, the
Race
race
car.
car.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Which just cracks me up. I love this story.
Well, when I was married in the 70s, my husband had a Lotus Elan, one of the old ones, and it was a right-hand drive. So you shift with your left hand, right? Can you shift with your left hand? I'm right-handed, so this was a challenge. But your feet aren't the opposite. Your
Oh.
feet are the same as they are over here, over here. It's just the
In
shifting.
the British racing cars. Yeah.
So half your brain has to work opposite over here, you know, and not over here. So it's very confusing to drive the right-hand drive. But we used to race the car on all the little racetracks that were in Southern California, and finally
That's so
quit racing
fun.
when my son was 2 years old.
Yeah, and when I look at you, I just don't see a race
no,
car
and
driver.
I mean, I just think badass. Can I say that?
Oh, I guess you can.
Yeah.
It just came out of your
Badass,
mouth.
But it's so cute because you just don't look like a badass. It's really fun.
I look a little different with a helmet on.
Yeah, no, the painter I get. So since you've started painting, about how many pictures have you done, and about how many have you sold?
She sells almost everything.
I know it.
Well,
That's what I want to know.
I've painted pushing 200.
Wow.
And I started painting May 15th, 2013. I remember
Wow.
distinctly, that was the date I went to this class. And I've probably sold, oh my gosh, 60 or 70. I mean, I've sold lots of them, and I've
Yeah.
done a lot of commission work.
Yes.
And then reproductions as well. So
Right, right.
amazing.
Yes, and then I donate some to philanthropic
Yes,
causes.
various
That's
charities and
fantastic.
things,
Yes,
yeah, to
that's
raise money for events. Well, it's absolutely been wonderful having you on the show today. Why don't
Yeah.
you tell our viewers where they can get in touch with you, where they can see your art, and how they could buy some of it?
Commission you for
Commission you
their
for-
dog portraits.
Yeah, well, and for people portraits.
And
she does
people
beautiful
portraits?
people portraits.
Exactly.
Thank you. Well, I can be reached at highprice@gmail.com. That's my email, HYPrice, that is. And also I have a website at WWWDBTV.com. And you can see all of my paintings there. But mostly where I post my paintings is on Facebook. And I have an album on my Facebook called Watercolor. And all my paintings are just right out there boldly for the public to see. I'm not too shy about publishing all
Badass.
my paintings.
Well, you shouldn't be, because they're absolutely
gorgeous.
beautiful, and I know
Yeah.
that
Thank you.
that people really, really enjoy your paintings. I know I do, and you've done calendars and what do you call them? Those little books that you've done. I mean, beautiful
Yes.
things. So
Very
I highly
creative.
recommend that our viewers go to your website and look at some of your work. It's,
and to Facebook.
it's very
Great,
good.
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
for being
much.
here, and we'll be right back.
Crazy Terry here with your car care tip of the day. Today's tips on cooling systems. This vehicle's got about 182,000 miles on it, so if you're checking the coolant, check the hoses too. Just feel them and see if they're soft or any signs of fatigue for the mileage on it. They don't feel bad, they look like they're still the original hose, but you want to make sure you don't go too long with these hoses because they will eventually deteriorate, cause a problem. In this case, this car's got a visible leak. The customer brought it to us. We'll pop the hood and check the cooling system. First, we just relieve any pressure might be on the cap, remove the cap, take a look inside. We see it's kind of low. Now we'll start our inspection. What we found on this one is the top tank is leaking. It's got a crack in it. Pretty common for these plastic radiators to do that. We want to get to a shop right away because severe engine damage can result from overheating condition like this. In this case, it was pretty easy to see the crack was right on the top tank, but a lot of times we'll have to pressurize the system to locate the exact leak. Could be a hose in the back, could be underneath. Some of these are hard to find, but in this case, a very common leak, the top tank. When we're testing a cooling system, it's okay to use just water, but you want to make sure when you're filling it up properly, it's a 50-50 mix of antifreeze and water. It needs the water to make the chemical work, so don't just put straight antifreeze. 50-50 mix is the best way to go. Keep it clean, keep it rust-free. So as you can see, we got a pretty active leak. You got to get this fixed or there's going to be some engine problems. If you're going to top off your own coolant, it's really not that hard. If you got a radiator cap, just make sure it's not hot. Take the cap off and take a look. In this case, we're pretty full here, but what we have is the overflow jugs empty. So we'll just add that. Once again, check your manufacturer's specs to make sure what type of coolant you have. In this case, we're using the good old green. There's gold, there's red, there's yellow, all types out there. Just want to make sure you're staying with your manufacturer recommended coolant. And that's really all there is to it. The cooling system is a major component. You'll want to service that regularly. If you have a problem, it could be too late and cost you thousands of dollars. If ever you have a problem, come into Sun Valley Automotive. It's no charge to look at your cooling system. This is Crazy Terry with your car care tip of the day.
Welcome back to the World of Art. Today we're super excited because Judi here is going to show us how to do an acrylic pour.
Yes.
So you love your pours, right?
Well, they're fun. You know, that's the thing, is that they are really, really fun. And so what we're doing is we're using 3 main colors and an accent color. And what we've done is we've mixed the acrylic paint in the cups with this product, which is called Floor Trail. And you see it says latex based.
Okay.
And that's the one you want to buy. You buy it at someplace like Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that.
What did you
okay?
use it for? Do you know what you use it for otherwise? Other than art projects?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't either.
I just use it for this.
Okay, eliminates brush and roller marks, improves flow.
I guess
in
you
the
put it in regular paint
Oh,
to
okay,
make your
get it,
paint
like maybe a
flow
latex
better. Yeah,
paint.
it's
All
a
right,
flow.
good.
It's a flow thing. So I've already mixed it with these.
Awesome.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of this oil. This is a 3-in-1 oil. You can get it for, like if you sew, you know, for your sewing machine
Oh,
or
right, right,
whatever.
right.
And we're going to put
Silicone based, right?
well, yeah, we're going to put just a couple drops in each one of these.
All right.
Just a couple drops. Okay. Now the reason we're putting the oil in is because it's going to make this stuff bubble. So we need to stir that just a little bit, and I want to make
Do you
sure
want me
that
to stir the yellow?
yeah, could you stir
Yeah.
it? But make sure that you don't get it on you, because this acrylic paint, once you get it on you, it's on you.
Here, do we need a paper
A
towel?
paper towel would be great. Yeah, and then we'll just put these
I just so
on it.
happen, I
Yeah.
just so happen to have.
perfect, and then we can just throw those away. Okay, so there we go. So they're all mixed up, right?
Yeah.
Now then, here's the fun part. You take the various colors that you're going to do, and you pour them all in one cup.
Really?
Yeah, so you
Okay.
pour 1, 2,
But no mixing at this point.
3. No, you just pour it, okay?
All right.
Whoops, just dripped all over everything.
That's okay.
Then you put the canvas, like here, you set it right on top of the cup, and you turn it upside down. And when you pick the cup up, it starts to run.
Cool.
And you can adjust,
Got like a little planet going there.
and you can adjust how it runs. See, you can just move the paint around by
Letting it
that's-
ooze over.
And you do want to have an aluminum pan underneath, because it does run off sometimes and makes a big mess. So you want to be sure that
Any suggestions for if you're using a big canvas, like just a big tarp maybe?
yeah, it's a big tarp or a big piece of plastic of some sort underneath it, so it doesn't get on top of everything. And you see the picture actually changes as you do this. Now I just want to give it like a little touch of another color.
Yeah, fun.
Okay.
Now, you're not trying to make anything. You've had to let all of your control issues go at this point,
Yes,
correct?
yes. This is all about just letting the paint run where it will.
Flow of least resistance.
And it's amazing because you get some really stunning.
That's a fun one. I really like that. Just the way it turned out like that.
Yeah, you get some real stunning abstracts without much work. And so I'm just trying to cover up that one corner, because you want to make sure that all your corners have paint on them.
Yep.
And that actually changes the look of the painting when you do that, but that's okay. You just want to make sure all the corners have paint so that you've got an entire picture.
Nice.
So there we have a 3-color abstract.
Now these would be terrific for anybody that's worried about certain color matching for their
Right,
home decorating
right.
type issues.
Now, if
or
you'll hand me that other pan with the other one, we'll do another one with the same paints, and we'll see how different we can.
do you need
Yeah.
a paper towel for those gloves that you've got on
Well, I
there?
just need a paper towel for a moment is all.
There's the paper towel. I like
Thank
being
you.
the assistant. This is good.
Yeah, this is fun. Okay. I don't have an assistant very often when I do this.
And here you go.
Okay, so there we have another one, and we can actually do the same colors but make it a little bit different by putting a different color. Let's put the purple in with the paint this time.
Okay.
So there's one. We can throw these away when we're through with them.
All right.
And this has just got a touch of yellow now this time. And we'll put some red. And let's give it a bunch of white.
Now, Judy, do you ever do like one color pour, let it dry, and then do maybe another one on top of that? Or is it always the pre-mixing flip the
sometimes
method?
what I do is I take old canvases that I've painted a picture on that I actually haven't done a very good job of and I don't like. And so it's all dry and it's got a painting underneath. Then I make another painting by pouring this on top of it
All right.
and just letting it run. See, we've used basically the same colors, and look, we're getting a totally different picture.
Yeah, but they'd look great as partners on a
Yeah,
wall.
and they'll go together real well, like 2 of them. You
Yeah.
can do as many as you want. You can actually do small ones and put 3 or 4 on another canvas and have something like a 3D that stands out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm liking this one. I think it's coming
That's
out
interesting,
really nice.
yeah. Look at the grays that are coming out of that.
Uh-huh.
That's very interesting. Looks like a marbling effect. Yep.
Okay, there we go.
Not as much yellow, but it's got the other ones
Got
in
a
there.
tiny little bit
Tiny
of
little
yellow.
bit, yeah. So now your yellow is more of your accent color.
Uh-huh. And there we go.
And there you go.
Same exact colors, just put in there and then just dumped on.
Yeah.
And you end up with some really fun abstract paintings.
Yeah, I mean, I'm envisioning now like doing, say, 9 big squares that you could like
Yes.
really almost cover an entire wall.
Right.
And then maybe just have a couple accent colors. So that would be like a really cool thing to get just a nice series of
And they make
wall
great
art.
color accents in bathrooms too.
Oh,
Sometimes
absolutely.
people don't know what kind of a picture to put in a bathroom, and basically all you want is a color accent. So it's really fun, and you don't have to buy expensive acrylics for this. You just buy the cheapest acrylic they have, and you
I like that.
dump the Flonase in it, and yeah, and I think they come out real well. I can't pick them up because they'll run now. So
Yeah,
you
of
have
course,
to,
let 'em
you
dry
have to
for a
leave
while.
them sit in there and let them dry, and then you end
How
up
long
with
does it take to
stunning-
dry?
Oh, about an hour.
Oh, so
Yeah.
not very long, especially in Las Vegas in 114
Yeah.
degree heat,
Yeah.
whatever. So, well, Judy, thank you. That was awesome. We really appreciate you sharing that method with us.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
And we'll be back in a few minutes.
Yes.
The golf store you've been waiting for is now open. Bob Allen Golf is ready to help you take your game to the next level. Bob Allen Golf is located at 6415 South Fort Apache, Las Vegas 89148. Choose your favorite clubs from our selection of Bridgestone, Callaway, Cleveland, XXIO, Srixon, Ping, Wilson, and more. We'll custom fit them in our state-of-the-art full-swing golf simulator. Come hang out with us and practice on our putting green to find out which club is perfect for you. Have your clubs repaired, reshafted, and regripped in our on-site tour shop. And talk about accessories. Guys and gals will feel comfortable and look sharp in the many sizes, colors, and options of apparel from Greg Norman, Black Clover, Under Armour, and more. The team at Bob Allen Golf takes your game as seriously as you do. Join our online family at boballengolf.com and stop in the store to meet us. Remember, at Bob Allen Golf, your game is in the bag.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us today. We had such a good time with our guest.
I really enjoyed the pour.
Now
Loved
always,
it.
That's always fun. It
Yeah.
can get pretty messy sometimes.
Yeah, no, yeah, but it's still fun. It's like, art, but kind of.
Yeah. It's like you get to do art and play at the same
Right.
time.
It's almost akin to finger painting.
Kind of.
Kind of, like,
yeah.
you're like messing around with colors and putting them wherever.
Yeah.
I still love finger painting.
But I love doing it, and those pours, you can do them in all sizes. I did a really big one in the garage recently. The neighbors were walking by, and they stopped, and they had to watch. They were fascinated with it.
Yeah,
So,
and then your entrepreneur message was super important for everybody to hear.
thank you.
So, yeah, I think today's show was just absolutely amazing, and it was, Delia, neat lady, I really like her a lot. So this is it was a cool day for me. So.
Yes, it was good. I enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
But I always enjoy hanging out with you.
Yeah, and we always have to put.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.
Yeah.